I know you've all seen the ads on the Archoil products that claim to be fantastic for your diesel fuel engines. They claim to improve the performance, give you more fuel economy, and most importantly, they claim to clean your DPF. In this video, I'm going to give you the breakdown on the Archoil products and answer the question, is Archoil snake oil or something that can really prove to be valuable? To get to the root of the issue on determining if these products really work or not, I need some technical data. And I use the Blue Driver ODB2 monitoring tool that plugs right into your vehicle, and you can configure this to monitor different things. I like to watch the increment of regens, the miles between regens, and I also like to see the percentage of carbon buildup on the DPF, and you can do that with this Blue Driver ODB2 tool. With that, I know how important it is to keep the DPF clean or in a process where it routinely cleans itself as it's intended to do. So when I monitored the results of my Blue Driver, I kept seeing that my regens were happening at 200 miles or even less, down around 180 miles to be very specific, and that concerned me, because I felt like at some point I was going to have to do a shop visit and have a professional cleaning of the DPF, and all that, really sounds like money and probably a few days without my truck. And if at all possible, I really want to avoid that. Well, after seeing the Archoil ads pop up on my Facebook feed, I decided to do a little research. I went out and read every review I could find on Archoil. And then I went to the Archoil's website and went through their extensive list of expected benefits you would get from using their products. And I must admit that it really looked impressive if all of this was true. This product is the Diesel Fuel System Cleaner, AR6400, and it claims to clean injectors, injector tips, remove turbo deposits, reduces DPF deposits, restores optimum power and fuel efficiency, and they recommend using it every 5,000 miles. So if you're not that familiar with how these new generation diesel engines work and the exhaust system and the after treatment system, the DPF is the Diesel Particulate Filter, and what it's doing is it's trying to capture those particles of carbon that's flowing through your exhaust system, and at some point your vehicle will go through what's called a regeneration, where it raises the temperature of your exhaust system. Mine goes from like 650 degrees to almost 1200 degrees, and with those higher temperatures it's going to burn off those carbon deposits, and your DPF will once again be clean. The other product is the Archoil Diesel Treatment. This is used at every fill-up, and it claims to improve your combustion efficiency, clean injectors, turbo and DPF, lubricates and protects a fuel system, reduces maintenance costs and extends component life, increases fuel economy. They claim from 6 to 10%. Compatible with all types of diesel fuel systems, and it also boosts the centane up 8 points. This graphic shows how Archoil will maximize power, maximize performance, and improve your miles per gallon. So before we get into the results, let me talk about my driving patterns and my driving habits. We know that the worst thing for a diesel engine is to sit in traffic and let the engine idle. My driving pattern is a mix of highway and urban driving, where I always start off with a 12 to 15 mile run and I end with a 12 to 15 mile run at highway speeds. That's because I live out in a rural area and we have to travel down a 4-lane highway at about 65 or 70 miles an hour to get here and when leaving, and that's really good for the engine. That's what is expected, a 15 or 20 minute run at highway speeds periodically to get the temperatures up, to keep the DPF functioning and the regens happening when they're supposed to. To start the test, I ran my truck through 2 regenerations and I recorded the results for that, and this was all before I added any Archoil. The first regen was 168 miles and the second one was 180 miles between the regenerations. And at this point, I added this product right here, the diesel fuel system cleaner, and I also added the treatment. Working with the baseline of these two pre-Archoil regens, I continued to monitor my engine and I recorded the regenerations over the next few refills of fuel. And you can look at these graphics and get a feel for how the regen started to lengthen out. At first, I was doing the urban highway driving mix, and then when I went on a road trip, you can see how the regens just really went through the ceiling, up to 600, 700, 800 miles between regens. That, to me, those numbers right there were pretty staggering. At this point, I already knew Archoil was really doing a good job for me, but I wanted to see what was happening with increasing the centane, increasing the miles per gallon. The lubricosity is also very important, but there's really no way for me to test that. I've always used some diesel fuel additive to provide a certain level of lubricosity that you don't normally get in diesel fuel today. One other thing that concerns me about diesel fuel is wintertime driving and the chance of your diesel fuel getting down below 32 degrees and starting to gel. Well, Archoil makes a separate product to winterize your fuel and to provide some anti-gelling capability, and I plan on picking up a bottle of that very soon with winter coming on. So from my experiences with Archoil, it works. I put value in this product. It's worth the cost of this. This package right here was about $50 plus tax, not that bad. So I'll be picking up more of this, and this will become a regular routine at every fill up to put in the treatment, and at every 5,000 miles I'll do the fuel system cleaning with the 6400D product. So if you would, please leave a comment down below on your feeling on additives. If you use Archoil, or if you don't use it, what do you use? And I'd really love to see those responses, and I'll respond back to everyone as best I can. So next time, stay safe, and I'll see you down the road.